Social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and YouTube. First off, if you're watching this and you're loving it, comment below. I'm loving this. It's such an honor to be on stage again with these amazing social media influencers that I'm so happy to call my friend. If you're watching this and you're wondering, like, what are all these Facebook groups, or you keep on talking about Facebook groups, that's because that's how we all got our run, was Facebook. However, there are things such as Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., that exist that are amazing, and we're going to talk about those things today. And first, I want to go ahead and congratulate Dr. Anissa Holmes for releasing her book. What's your book called?
Yeah, so we actually this week launched the first book for Clubhouse and Dentistry. So it's called Clubhouse for Dentistry. Actually launched it this week. So if anybody's on Amazon, you're watching right now, you can go and get a free copy until Saturday. We'll have free copies after this. But I'm super excited. I absolutely love Clubhouse. And for those who don't know it, you're going to hear about it today.
Thank you so much. And it probably makes sense just to go ahead and start by telling everybody, in 1 minute what you do, and then also your social media platforms that you have created as well.
Awesome. So I am Anissa Holmes, and my Facebook group is Dental Boss Movement. It was originally the Delivering Well Hangout, started really early 2015, and I actually started that group because I had a podcast, and at the time I was interviewing all of these amazing speakers who I was just like, oh my gosh, they're so amazing. And at the time, we would never, as dentists or dental community, be able to access these speakers. And so as they came on to the podcast, I said, can you please join my group so that dentists can connect with you? And so our group has always been coaches, speakers, consultants, dental hygienists, assistants, dentists. Like, it's a place for us all to come together to connect, collaborate, and communicate. So that is Dental Boss Movement. I'm also the founder of the first club on Clubhouse. We have over 18,000 members now, which is the Dentist Club. So super excited about that as well.
Thanks, Anissa. Chris?
Well, I'm Dr. Christopher Huffpower. If you guys know me online, you know me as Doc. And if I seem a little bit nervous, it's because the last time I was on stage with these four people, I learned, to my horror, that I could not fly, and it was quite a painful lesson. And if you didn't watch it, I think we still have the video somewhere of me falling off the stage. Yeah, Sarah's got it if you want. You can inbox it.
Fell off the stage. Ouch.
I did a good break fall, though.
You came up laughing, so...
So I am the founder of the Business of Dentistry and also the Dear Doc podcast. The Business of Dentistry was founded in February of 2017, and it was founded because I had a great frustration. And that frustration was that as a dental student, as a young practice owner, I was so tired of trying to ask about business information, getting crushed online by these old guys who believed if you build it, it'll come. Now, they're not crushed by $500,000 of student debt. They don't know what it's like to get out and try to start a practice with that kind of an albatross around your neck. And so I was just very passionate about helping other people to get over those same struggles in a positive environment. And, I have to say, I'd love to ask you guys to give a standing ovation to the previous people who are up here, because I'm having a hard time thinking of any content I can actually give you that they didn't cover. That was an amazing group. It really was.
Can we get a standing ovation for them? Let's do it. On Clubhouse, just type in, or on Facebook, just type in standing ovation, and maybe give some claps. All right? I need you to give it up. Come on, stand up. Come on. Give them what they deserve. Let's go. Thank you all so much. And for those of you who are watching, we are live here in Miami, bringing the industry back safely. And we're bringing it back. I'm super happy. We have 570 people here in total, just over 100 and about 120 influencers in some capacity. And we have multiple events happening. We're also doing another event in October that's just like this, and I'm hoping the COVID restrictions are lifted and we can double it. So I'd love for anyone to join us this October. So next up, we have Lee Duke.
Thank you, Elijah, and thank you for having me here. It's great to join such an awesome group on stage, and the group before is amazing. So I'm the founder of Dental Peeps Network. you probably know like Atlanta Dental Peeps, Houston Dental Peeps, Chicago Dental Peeps. There's over 168 localized city groups. We also have role-based forums. So if you're an office manager, there's an office manager's forum. If you're a hygienist, there's a dental hygiene forum. That was started in November 2017. I was sitting in Houston, Texas at a Marriott Courtyard. I had just left a corporate position at Straumann, where at Straumann I had an amazing support system as a sales director. And all of a sudden I found myself in this entrepreneurial space with no support system, right? You have to do everything to yourself. There's no community. If you got a question, you can't ask anybody. It's like, and thankfully for this guy right here, I think in 2016, I didn't know what a Facebook group was. And Elijah, Anessa, a lot of them paved the way for that. And this guy right here was a massive help back in the day. And so I started Houston Dental Peeps. That was the very first group. I quickly learned that, when you look at Facebook groups, I mean, if you look at the marketplace today, everything is unbundling. You got Zoom, Etsy, Amazon. It's all unbundling. It was talked about a little bit earlier, but, the niche, the smaller, is where it's at. These large tech companies, they're finding that it's harder to go big, and you want to build community. So I knew that I wanted to build community, but I also knew that I wanted to give it away very quickly. We have over 300 moderators that are local dental professionals to each group. And so you probably don't see my face around too much in these groups. I wanted to make sure that we turned it over. I'll give a quick shout out. We've got Dr. Ricky Shaffern is also a co-founder of Dental Peeps Network. Nikki Howda, hygienist up in Minneapolis, is the director of Social Network East. Lindsay Bree Lee, you probably see her. She's like all over Facebook. But she's the director of West. And then I could just go on because we've got an amazing team. And that's really our secret sauce is allowing the local people to be your guide, your community leaders to helping build community, support, allowing people to build their own brands, helping businesses build theirs. Because as an entrepreneur, I found, wow, I'm out here on an island all by myself. And it seemed at the time that the community kind of was too. And so we're thrilled to be here. I wish the whole team could fill up the stage, but I'll turn it over to Glenn.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Glenn Vo, Dr. Glenn Vo, and before I go any further, I just want to, again, I know we've been just congratulating and just praising Elijah, but I want to do that again because, Elijah, I mean, we went through something just crazy, and you really just stuck your neck out there and did a live event, and I'm so happy to be on stage with all my friends again. Again, like what Dr. Hoppard just said, the last time we were on stage together, he fell off the stage, so again, I'm super happy to be back on here. And Chris, hopefully you don't fall off again. But Elijah, can we give Elijah a round of applause for doing this? Because I was talking to Chris earlier. I was like, man, this event is just so well run. Elijah is just, talking, connecting with everyone. I was so impressed, but it really inspired me. And I'm hoping that everyone who's at home watching, they're inspired to start going out there and start doing those events again. So Elijah, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I got connected with Elijah through kind of like my Facebook group, what I was doing. Nifty Thrifty Dentist and Dental Garage Sale. Now, the reason why I bring up Dental Garage Sale is because that's my first group. And it started because my wife was like, why are you collecting so much dental equipment? I have this problem. If I see a good deal, I have to buy it. And I have a storage room full of dental, enough to equip another office. So my wife's like, you got to get rid of this or we're going to have some problems. So I started Dental Garage Sale. And then people started asking me, like, hey, can you hook me up with some deals? Vendors started coming in. They started asking me, can I post here? And I'm like, well, you can post if you hook us up with a discount or something, right? And so Nifty Thrifty Dentist was born. And so it started off as a way for us to connect vendors and dental professionals. Hook them up with deals and discounts. I bootstrapped my practice. I was a startup. I paid my way through college. So I was always used to just really trying to save money, really trying to find ways to save money and grow my practice, right? And so I brought that into Nifty Thrifty Dentist. And what has happened now It's become more of a community where we help each other level up. And that's what it's all about, leveling up.
All right, so I'm going to start over here with Anissa, and like I said, we'll try to keep it at a minute so everybody gets to talk. What is the next big thing in social media?
So the next big thing, of course, is Clubhouse. How many people are on Clubhouse? Oh my gosh, you're my people. Awesome, good stuff. So you already know the power of Clubhouse, right? Especially what's happened with the pandemic, having us all come together and to be able to connect, to be able to hear each other's voices, to be able to learn, to be able to share. What I love about Clubhouse is it can be any topic. And people are coming together and they're connecting and sharing. And I've not seen the whole cyberbullying thing happen. Like, you hear people's real intention and their real hearts, and you know if they're authentic or not, if they really know what they're talking about. And what's really cool is that there are social media influencers, or they're speakers or coaches, but you can get value from anybody in a conversation. And that's what I love about Clubhouse. It allows everybody to be on level playing field, helping each other, connecting, collaborating, and communicating.
Chris?
Well, I hate to follow that. But, guys, I'll be honest with you. I agree with her completely. I think Clubhouse is where everything's going in the future. I think we're going to see a proliferation. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Zuckerberg just announced that he was going to create a Clubhouse killer. Well, we'll see if that happens. But I think if they can ever get on the freaking Android, they're going to kill everything out there. Anybody out there, an Android user, frustrated that they're not on there? Yeah, no doubt.
Has anybody switched to Apple because they wanted to be on Clubhouse? There's somebody out there doing that too. Welcome to the iPhone club.
So yeah, I think that's where it's going, Elijah. I think a lot of what Anissa said there is absolutely dead on. The internet has done a lot of great stuff for us. These social media groups have done a lot of great stuff for us. But what ends up happening, and I'm going to steal something that I learned from my friend here a long time ago: never live somebody else's outtake reel. What you see on social media, Facebook in particular, is always the best days. No one, unless they're ranting about a patient or something, is going to come out there and say, hey, I screwed up so bad today. I prepped a crown, pulped the tooth. I'm in tears. They don't want to share that with people. But that is, honestly, authenticity. And one of the things that I think Clubhouse is great at, you can hear people's voices. And it takes away that screen that Facebook has given us a lot, where we've kind of dehumanized each other. And that leads to all these, what I like to call them, life-sucking black holes. People who try to pull everything into their orbit because their sole purpose in life is to destroy everything around them just to try to fill the emptiness that they're composed of.
Thank you. And that's, man, you're right. I mean, I've heard the same thing over and over about, it's a big Clubhouse being transparent and authentic, et cetera. It's connecting people in a totally different way. And, you call them the keyboard warriors out there. They don't exist on Clubhouse, well, at least not yet. Everyone is looking to collaborate and communicate with one another and help. And I think Clubhouse is the game changer. I'm confident that it will be the biggest thing in at least our industry as far as social media is concerned that we'll probably see in a long time. Facebook, I was fortunate enough to get on Facebook, and when it was young, I think the biggest group may have had 10,000 at the time. It was a hygiene group that I actually got kicked out of for creating Smiles at Sea in it. I said, is anybody interested in going on a cruise and getting CE? And it was like, not kidding, this happened over 200 comments within literally a couple of minutes. And good thing I seen it before it was deleted. And then the admin reached out and said, no promoting businesses. And I said, what do you mean? I don't have a business. I had an idea, but thank you. And here we are today as an unconventional convention, a judgment-free convention. And Smiles at Sea is how I help build my brand. But the big thing is I was at the front of the wave of social media, right alongside with my friend Sandy Lee right here. She was probably the first person I connected with in social media, and I was at the front of that wave way before everything else happened and all these other groups blew up. And I'm confident that Clubhouse is the exact same. It is going to be the exact same wave, and the people that are in it now will be at the front of the wave. And so I'm fortunate enough to get on there, and it is addicting. But, man, where was Clubhouse at in April when I was in that dark place? right? Many of us were in a dark place in April. We lost our jobs. We lost businesses. We had to stay at home and be, quarantined essentially. Where was Clubhouse in April? Right? But it's here and it's here to stay. So, Lee?
I'll add just a couple layers to that. I believe that now that we've seen Clubhouse, the next, and you're doing it right now here at this event, because this is happening on Facebook and you're streaming it to Clubhouse, right?
Yes, it's being streamed to Clubhouse. And by the way, if you are on Clubhouse, go to that plus button and ping your friends into the room, now that I think of it. If you're on Clubhouse, literally go on there and ping all your dental professionals into the room, and let's see how big we can grow this Clubhouse. Go ahead, Lee.
And so, Inessa, I think that you've put podcast on the Clubhouse and vice versa, correct? And so, getting back to that kind of unbundling, we're going to see more cross-platform utilization where I could do a podcast, film it, I could run live into a Facebook group, be live on Clubhouse, have my podcast audience, and then post it to YouTube, and then tweet that I posted it onto YouTube, and then take a picture of it all and post it to Instagram, right? And so it's this building of this community, right? So that you're not only promoting your own personal brand on Instagram, you're promoting people that you're interviewing on a podcast, but then people in a Facebook group can now talk about it. And they can look at it, they can interact even after Clubhouse is shut down, because that's the one negative, right, to Clubhouse, is that once the room closes, it's hard to capture that. And so you can do that in all of our groups. You can do it in your Instagram. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of that as we move forward.
Thank you. Glenn?
I love that, Lee. I'm actually going to add on to that. And I think what he's talking about is just being omnipresent, right? And what that means is being on multiple platforms there. I was talking to Holly the other day, and she was asking me, like, I really want to get my name out there. I want to, reach more people. And I just told her, well, all you have to do is just be on multiple platforms, right? Come into Nifty Thrifty Dentist. Let me do a Facebook Live with you, right? Go into the Clubhouse room. Again, Clubhouse is big, right? I mean, I can't wait to read Anissa's book, and we're on Clubhouse a lot. But the thing is that if you really want to get your name out there, if you're sitting out there right now, you're thinking, okay, well, how did he do it? I'm not any different from you. I'm not that, I don't have any special skills or anything, but there's 3 things that you need to have. You need to be authentic, which Brian brought up earlier. You got to be consistent, and you got to have content. You have those 3 things, that's all you need. Now, if you just go on Clubhouse once in a while and drop some great pearls and never come back, you're not going to get that same traction. So again, Clubhouse is one of many platforms that you can join. You just got to do those 3 things.
Do you have is it a name on Clubhouse? Is there a username?
You're talking about the group?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the All Things Dentistry group. And then again, we always participate in other groups. So I'm in Anissa's groups a lot too. Mm-hmm. And so again, if you want someone to support you, right, you got to support what they're doing. If you want someone to care about what you're doing, you got to care about what they're doing, right? If someone comes up to me and says, man, I just love what you're all about. Okay, but you don't know what my group's called? You don't know what my podcast, you don't know anything about me, but you love what I'm doing? That's not authentic, guys, right? So again, if you want someone to love on your stuff, you got to love on theirs.
Wow, you could drop the mic after that. Next question is do you, and I'll start over here this time, do you feel that it is important to have multiple platforms as a social media influencer, or do you think that you should go deep on one?
So I definitely am deep on many, because people consume content and learn in different ways. And so prior to Clubhouse, it was my podcast, because some people are at the gym and they want to learn some pearls. They want to be able to hear how they can grow their practice. And so that was where we first started. But now what I do is I actually record a podcast. This is my strategy. I record a podcast. All coaches, speakers, consultants, anyone who are listening, I know there are a lot of you here in this audience. I record a podcast, and then what happens is that we get a transcript of that. And I actually have a writer that writes a script off of that transcript for me to do a YouTube video. And then we also have a writer that takes that podcast and creates an article. So every week we publish an article out to the industry. We have a YouTube video that's now linked into the article. And so you can definitely leverage. And now what I'm doing with Clubhouse is I am recording my podcast. I'm not recording the room, but once the podcast is completed, then now we can have a discussion. And we couldn't do that before. So now we can say, let's all talk about it. Who's had the same experience? Who's learned? And we can experience share. And so that's a nice way that you can look at leverage.
Chris?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a good non-answer. You ready? I think that we're gonna experience a pendulum swing, much like you were talking about earlier. There's gonna come a time when you've got some external thing like Hootsuite or something like that that can kind of aggregate all of your content and push it out to each other, and they already do that to a limited extent. I think that we're going to reach a point of saturation where someone was talking earlier about the Instagram guy. He was talking about how sometimes it's the smaller groups that are actually more potent, more powerful, and make more change in the industry. I think we're going to see a pendulum swing, but for now, and I think probably for the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to see that you've got to be on as many platforms as possible, because like Anissa said, people learn differently. For those of you who don't have an iPhone and can't get on Clubhouse. So people learn differently, and they experience things in different ways, and they have different abilities to access that information. So I think we're going to see a pendulum shift.
Thank you. All right, Lee.
Multiple platforms.
Thank you for the short answer.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make it as short as Lee, but yeah, I do agree. I mean, multiple platforms, but again, you got to level up beyond that, right? And leveling up beyond that is making sure you make the connections with the right people. Now, again, you can grow your following by the connections and relationships. Elijah's big on relationships. That's why we get along so well. I am too. Everything that I do in Nifty Thrifty Dentist, even in my dental practice, is based on relationships. So let's say, for example, Elijah or Anissa has a podcast, right? And I have something that I feel like needs to be said. I want to connect with them. I want to connect with their audience, right? When Anissa has a new amazing program, we connect because I know that her program is going to help my audience. So again, there's platforms, and then you level up beyond that into relationships.
Awesome. This will be a really quick one. Very fast, because we have a minute left. Do you use LinkedIn, and what do you think about it?
I am now starting to use LinkedIn. I was not on LinkedIn, but I am now discovering the power of LinkedIn.
Same answer. Great for making professional relationships.
I have just entered the LinkedIn space about 6 months ago, and it is a sleeping giant. Like, it is so amazing in so many different ways. I didn't realize the power of LinkedIn. I can't believe I've been sleeping on it for all these years. But there is definitely a community. Right now, and my guess is there might be, I don't know, a maximum of 10 people on there, but we have hundreds of people on Facebook. I feel like you essentially have the ability to be active and engage in any platform that you want, and you can grow it just as big as the one that you're most powerful on in the first place. Lee?
It's a different audience, and it's a powerful community. We just made a significant financial and team investment in LinkedIn last week.
Thank you.
So with LinkedIn and Facebook, people kind of stalk your profile to see kind of what you're about, what you like to do. On LinkedIn, they see if you're legit. And so, again, that's very powerful, especially if you're a speaker or have some groups and whatnot, and people are checking you out and say, okay, is this person legit? Is this someone who I want to put money behind? So, like Lee said, it's a different audience.
I just want to add just real quick, a word of caution about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a more professional environment. I see sometimes people behave as if they're on Facebook or Clubhouse, and I would just caution you as a professional, it is your resume. Be very careful about these healthy debates. It is your brand. Consider that you're in an interview when you're on LinkedIn.
Thank you all so much, and do not forget to get Anissa's book. If somebody could link that book in the comments below. And she actually brought 150 books for free to the conference. That's right. They're free, right?
They are free.
So she's going to be doing a book signing, I believe, during lunch time. Yes. So we're going to do a book signing, or she'll do a book signing in lunch, and all the influencers that are here, Dental Vault has made a special lounge for you. It's a VIP Dental Vault, and it's just for people that have the VIP passes. There's coffee there. You can charge your phone. You can sit down. You can kind of break away from everybody if you need to. And also, lunch is going to be served there today for the influencers. It's fajitas, actually. I think it would be a perfect opportunity for Anissa to go in there into that VIP vault and go ahead and do a book signing at that point. Does that make sense, Anissa?
Sounds good. What time is that?
Is there time for that?
What time is lunch?
I think it's 12.
Sure.
Yep. All right, so everybody that's watching online, we are going to head into a quick commercial break, and we'll see you back shortly.